Welcome to the ThriveHer podcast, where we empower women to take control of their unique health conditions and wellness journey during perimenopause and beyond. Our goal is to help you dream big and reach your fullest potential in every part of your life. Each week, the podcast dives into expert insights, natural solutions, and inspiring stories to support you on your journey. And now, here's your host, your no-nonsense naturopath, Rochelle Wade.
Well, hello and welcome to the ThriveHer podcast. I'm your host, Rochelle Wade, your no-nonsense naturopath. And today we are digging into a topic that's been both controversial and misunderstood for far too long. That is hormone replacement therapy, or as it's now sometimes called, menopausal hormone therapy. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard horror stories about HRT, claims that it causes breast cancer, heart disease, stroke, or maybe you've known someone that's been taken off HRT by their doctor because of these fears. It's a complicated subject, and it's understandable why so many women have been confused and even scared by what they've heard. But what if I told you that much of this fear was based on a flawed study and sensationalized media coverage? What if the benefits of HRT, benefits that could improve your quality of your life and long-term health, were buried under decades of misinformation? Today, we're going to unpack all that. We'll talk about how the data has been misunderstood, what the research actually tells us now, and why hormone therapy, specifically bioidentical hormone therapy, could be a game changer for many women navigating perimenopause. So my goal today here is to leave you feeling empowered, informed, and ready to make the best decisions for your health. So let's get into it. To understand how we got here, we need to start with the 2002 Women's Health Initiative study, otherwise called the WHI. Now, this was a huge study. It was one of the largest clinical trials ever done on hormone replacement therapy, and its findings were dramatic. Now, you may remember the headlines. HRT increases the risk of breast cancer, heart disease, and blood clots. And the response to this was swift and severe. Almost overnight, doctors around the world started pulling their patients off HRT, and these women were left in the lurch, suddenly terrified of a therapy that had actually been helping many of them feel better. But what didn't get enough attention back then were the flaws in the study. So let's break that down a little bit. One of the most critical issues with the WHI study was that the average age of the woman involved was 63 years old. These women, who were well past menopause, and many of them already had pre-existing health conditions, things like cardiovascular disease, which we now know increases the risks associated with hormone therapy. Now, the problem is the results of this study were interpreted as though they applied to all women, regardless of their age or health status. But here's the truth. HRT is most beneficial when it started earlier, between the ages of 50 and 59, or within 10 years of menopause. When hormone therapy is initiated within that window, the benefits tend to far outweigh the risks, and it can have a profoundly positive impact on a woman's health. Unfortunately, by the time this nuance was understood, the damage had already been done. Millions of women had stopped using HRT or advised never to start it, missing out on the critical benefits. And this isn't just about symptom management, although we will get to that, but it's about long-term health. Women lost out on protection for their bones, their hearts, and even their brains. So if you or someone you love was taken off HRT back then, or if you've been too scared to even consider it, you're certainly not alone. And today we're here to clear things up. So what are these benefits that I'm talking about? Well, millions of women have missed out on these benefits because of this widespread fear and misinformation. So let's start with one of the most important ones and the most tangible to understand. That's bone health. After menopause, women experience a sharp decline in estrogen levels. and this has a direct impact on bone density. Estrogen helps maintain strong bones, and when it's no longer there, the rate of bone loss accelerates. This puts women at a much higher risk of developing osteoporosis and eventually suffering fractures. Now, studies have shown that starting HRT early can reduce the risk of fractures by up to 50%. That's a huge reduction in risk. Imagine how many women could have been spared the pain of broken bones and the debilitating effects of osteoporosis if they had had access to HRT. This isn't just about treating symptoms of menopause, it's about preventing serious long-term health consequences. And then there's heart health. This is where the WHI study created the most fear. Women were told that HRT increased their risk of heart attack and stroke. But the newer studies, ones that focus on women who start HRT within 10 years of menopause, show that the opposite can be true. Estrogen helps keep our arteries flexible, which reduces the risk of atherosclerosis or the hardening of the arteries. The atherosclerosis, is what can lead to heart attacks. And here's why the delivery method matters. Transdermal estrogen, so that's estrogen delivered through the skin via a patch or a gel or a cream, bypasses the liver. And this greatly reduces the risk of blood clots that are associated with oral estrogen pills. In fact, for many women, transdermal estrogen combined with bioidentical progesterone has a positive effect on the heart. So if heart disease is a concern for you, as it should be since heart disease is one of the leading causes of death for women, then HRT, when started at the right time, could actually be part of your heart health strategy. Finally, let's talk about brain health. There's emerging research suggesting that estrogen may play a protective role when it comes to cognitive decline. A study published in Neurology found that women who started hormone therapy closer to menopause had a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's disease. Cognitive decline is one of the biggest fears many of us have as we age. We all want to stay sharp, keep our memories intact, and maintain our independence. And while more research is still needed, the evidence we have here suggests that HRT could be a tool for protecting your brain health as you get older. So to recap, we've talked about bones, heart, and brain, three major areas where hormone therapy, especially when started early, can offer real life-changing benefits. But I know you're probably thinking, what about the risks? Isn't HRT dangerous? It's a fair question. After all, that's what the WHI study warned about. But here's where we also have to dig into the nuance. This is where things get a little more complicated, but also more hopeful. First of all, not all hormone therapy is created equal. The risks associated with HRT depend heavily on two things: the type of hormones you're using and how they're delivered. For example, oral estrogen, when you take estrogen as a pill, does increase your risk of blood clots because it passes through the liver. But transdermal estrogen delivered through the skin in the form of a patch or a gel bypasses the liver entirely. So this method of delivery significantly lowers the risk of blood clots, making it a much safer option for women. And then there's progesterone. If you still have a uterus, it's crucial to balance estrogen with progesterone to protect against uterine cancer. But the type of progesterone matters a lot. Synthetic progestins, the kind used in older HRT formulations, are linked to a higher risk of breast cancer and cardiovascular issues. Bioidentical progesterone, on the other hand, is chemically identical to the progesterone your body naturally produces, and it has a much better safety profile. It's associated with far fewer side effects and a lower risk of complications. So when we're talking about the risks of HRT, we're really talking about the older synthetic forms of hormone therapy. Bioidentical hormone therapy, particularly when delivered through the skin, offers a much safer alternative. So this is why it's so important to work with a healthcare provider who understands these nuances, because HRT isn't one size fits all. The right combinations of hormones, the right delivery method, and the right timing make all the difference. You may have also noticed that some healthcare providers and researchers are starting to use a new term, menopausal hormone therapy, or MHT, instead of HRT. So what's the difference? The shift from HRT to MHT is subtle, but it's important. The change is meant to reduce the misconception that hormone therapy is about restoring hormone levels to what they were when you were in your 20s and 30s. Instead, MHT emphasizes the therapeutic role of hormones in managing perimenopausal symptoms and protecting long-term health. So rather than focusing on replacing hormones, MHT is about using hormones in a targeted way to address the symptoms of menopause. Things like hot flushes, night sweats, mood swings, sleep disturbances, but doing this while also supporting long-term health goals like maintaining bone density and heart health. So it's a more accurate and focused way of thinking about hormone therapy. And while you'll still hear both terms, HRT and MHT, because they're often used interchangeably, just know that MHT puts the emphasis where it belongs, on therapy and treatment, not turning back the clock. Let's take a closer look at bioidentical hormones, because they have become a game changer for many women. When we talk about bioidentical hormones, we're talking about hormones that are chemically identical to the ones in your body that are produced naturally. This means that your body recognizes them and processes them much more easily, which translates into fewer side effects and better overall outcomes. Bioidentical estrogen, particularly when it's delivered transdermally, has been shown to effectively manage the symptoms of menopause while also providing those longer-term benefits we've been talking about, protecting your bones, heart, and brain. Bioidentical progesterone, when used alongside estrogen, is much safer than synthetic progestins and is much better tolerated by most women. It's used to protect your uterus from cancer, and if you're taking estrogen, has fewer side effects like bloating and mood swings or breast tenderness than its synthetic counterparts. I cannot overestimate for you how many women have found switching to bioidentical hormone therapy to be life-changing. It allows them to address their menopause symptoms in a way that feels safe and effective without the fear and confusion that surrounded older synthetic hormones. And this allows their body to return to a state where you can address other health concerns much more effectively. Now, if you're listening and thinking, maybe HRT or MHT is something I want to explore, the most important step is finding a healthcare provider who specializes in women's health, specifically menopause and hormone therapy. Not all doctors are experts in hormone therapy, and the level of knowledge can vary widely. You need someone who understands the nuances of bioidentical hormones and who can help you create a treatment plan that's personalized to your unique needs. At ThriveHer, we believe that every woman deserves personalized expert care. And if you need help finding a specialist or understanding your options, we can assist you in connecting with healthcare providers who have the right expertise. So here's the bottom line. If you're approaching menopause or you've already started navigating postmenopausal life, don't let outdated fears stop you from exploring hormone therapy. The risks, when understood and managed, can often be outweighed by the benefits. And with the right guidance, hormone therapy can be a safe and effective way to protect your heart, your bones, and your brain while also improving your quality of life. Next week on episode 8 of the ThriveHer podcast, we're going to explore the power of gratitude, cultivating a positive mindset for well-being and success. We're going to go into what gratitude really means and how it goes far beyond just saying thank you. You'll discover the science behind gratitude, how it can boost your physical and mental well-being, and how it can even impact your professional life. I'll share practical tips that you can start using right away to make gratitude a natural part of your daily routine. Believe it or not, gratitude is one of the simplest yet most transformative tools out there, and I can't wait to explore this powerful practice with you. Thank you for spending your time with me today. I'm excited to walk this path with you, and I can't wait to see all the incredible things you'll achieve. Remember, your journey to thriving starts with just one small step, so let's take that step together. If you'd like to join me, head to our website to register for the ThriveHer Live Masterclass. This masterclass helps you discover your true path and how to get there using a clever health strategy. A link to the next masterclass will be in the show notes. I'd love to see you there. Until next time, keep believing in yourself, keep striving for more, and keep thriving, because your best life is just ahead.
Thank you for joining us on this episode of the ThriveHer podcast. We hope you found valuable insights and practical tips to help you on your path to achieving everything you want in life. Remember, with the right support, you can achieve anything. If you loved this episode, please share it on Instagram stories and tag No Nonsense Naturopath. Also, if you enjoy the podcast, you'll love a ThriveHer membership. Check it out at thriveher.vip. Each interaction helps others find this valuable information. Connect with us on social media and join our community of thriving women. Until next time, stay empowered, stay healthy, and keep thriving.